We understood very early on that aspirants needed systems, the kind of systems that CEOs, top athletes, top performing individuals have to crack exams and to peak their potential.
Good evening, everyone. On behalf of Civils Daily, it's my absolute pleasure to welcome you all to Threshold, a curated evening with India's public leaders and the newest members of our civil services. We are honored to have with us distinguished civil servants, scholars, journalists, mentors, and most importantly, the young officers who have crossed one of the most demanding examination of this country. Today's gathering is not merely a celebration of results, it's a moment of reflection where experience meets aspiration and where one generation of public services welcomes the another. Thank you all for joining us this evening at CSOI Chanakyapuri. Today also marks an important milestone in the journey of Civils Daily IAS. When Civils Daily was founded, the vision was never to build just another company. The vision was to prove something far more fundamental, that better outcomes require fundamentally different approach. That conviction gave birth to Civils Daily, mentorship driven program, or a model built on simple but one powerful philosophy: find the fault, correct the course. And today, the results speak for themselves. Yes, we are proud of our rankers who have emerged from Civils Daily, but what truly fills us with pride is something bigger, that we helped changed the ecosystem. If you look across the UPSC preparation landscape today, every major institute has a mentorship program. And if you look little closer, you'll often find a CDN either mentoring aspirants or leading prelims, mains, or their interview verticals in those institutions. And this is just not a coincidence. It's Civils Daily's effect. So this also brings us to this evening threshold. The word threshold itself represents a moment of crossing, a moment between preparation and responsibility, between aspiration and services. So tonight we are bringing these two generations, those who have served the nations for decades and those who are about to begin the journey. We have a small but a meaningful request from our speakers today. We have invited each of them to reflect on one important virtue, something they have lived by, struggled with, or built their work upon, and that they believe that the next generation of public servants must carry forward. So just one honest lesson from one threshold to another. In India, every meaningful journey begins with a light. To mark the beginning of this evening, I request our distinguished guests, founders of Civils Daily, to kindly come forward for the ceremonial lighting of the lamp. Aradhna ma'am, may I request you? Sir, Singh sir, can I request you? Patnaik sir, Rohit sir, Shikhar sir, Prayas sir, can I request you? Thank you. To formally open this evening, it's my honor to invite Mr. Shikhar Sachan, one of the founders of Civils Daily. He's a computer science graduate from IIT. Shikhar sir worked with leading technology firms before founding Civils Daily. His writing has appeared in publications such as the Economic Times, Financial Express, Hindu, and he has been speaker at several national forums on education and public policy. Sir, may I request you to address the gathering?
Thank you, Saket sir. Um, Saket sir started with a very important point. The fact that when we conceptualized Civils Daily, it was not just another education company doing traditional things. We knew that we had to fundamentally do different things to achieve learning outcomes. They won't happen with the traditional methods. That was the vision behind Civils Daily. We understood very early on that aspirants needed systems, the kind of systems that CEOs, top athletes, top performing individuals have to crack exams and to peak their potential. And it's designing these systems that has gotten us this far. What it means when we talk about these systems for UPSC, it essentially boils down to these three important components. First, understanding what UPSC considers important, not blindly going about the 20 odd subjects that you have to cover. You have to understand what UPSC expects from you, the kind of depth, the kind of details that it needs you to cover. Second, understanding which topics require the extra mile that you need to travel. And third, the fact that the three stages of the exam, prelims, mains, and interviews, require fundamentally different strategies, and you have to master all of them. It's not a one size fits all approach for all the three stages. Let me make it real for you. We have Raghav here, AR4, and he thought that he has given his everything in his previous attempt, everything that he had, and there was nothing else to do. But when he had interactions with us, Rohit sir, me, Saket sir, he understood that there were still a lot of ground to be covered. His frameworks needed fine tuning, and still a lot more was desired from his PYQ preparation. Similar was the story with Lakshya. Lakshya is also here, I believe. Lakshya attempted his first test and he scored a 90. And he was like, "Are you guys kidding me? I have given the best that I could." And from that point on, Shubham sir worked with him, and there is a 60 mark increase in his attempt. And same has been the story with everyone. Shubhankar is here. He has seen an increase. And that's true for all the rankers here. Coming back, it reinforces the fact that mentorship is the way to go about if you are preparing for this exam, and for that matter, for any other exam. Everything that we do here at Civils Daily is sort of becoming an industry standard, from PYQ micro themes. The syllabus, the official syllabus, is sort of irrelevant. The PYQ micro themes is the new syllabus. The X Factor notes for mains, they have the desired depth and the value addition that is needed to be reproduced in your answers. You have the task framework for essays, the interview frameworks, the interview mentorship. All of those have rock solid objective measures of assessing your preparation. Now, we live in times where technology is defining how we operate and how we think. The AI revolution is in front of us. And we have always been constrained. Our mentors had limited number of hours and limited time that they could be available. But technology is going to erase this barrier for us. And that's what the next evolution looks like for Civils Daily. I hope that you guys have a great night. All rankers here have come with their rich experiences, with their copies, with their notes, and they'll be sharing very detailed advice with each and every one of you. I'll request Saket sir to come up. You.
Thank you, sir. It's now my privilege to introduce the distinguished guests who have joined us in the evening. We are honored to have Mr. Ravindra Singh, sir, a retired 1979 batch IAS officer of the Uttar Pradesh cadre, who served as the secretary in the Ministry of Culture and played a key role in modernizing the National Archives and promoting Indian classical arts globally. We are privileged to welcome Ms. Aradhana Johari, madam. Most of you must be aware of her, a retired 1980 batch IAS officer of the Uttar Pradesh cadre, who served as the secretary in the Department of Pharmaceuticals and Department of Disinvestment, and played an important role in shaping India's public health and regulatory frameworks. We are also joined by Mr. Praful Patnaik, sir, who holds the rare distinction of serving both in 1977 batch IPS and the 1980 batch IAS, and he worked across several major sectors, including the rural development, agriculture, and development of the Northeast region. It's an honor to also welcome Mr. Purushottam Agarwal. He'll be joining us soon. A distinguished scholar, author, and a former member of the UPSC, widely respected for the scholarship of Kabir, Bhakti tradition, and Indian Intellectual Society. We'll also be joined by Mr. Abhinav Pandey, the co-founder of Newspinch, one of India's fastest growing independent journalism platform. We are also grateful to have members from the Indian Express, Mr. Manas particularly. He leads the UPSC vertical there. And of course, we thank Newspinch, our media partner for the event. To express our gratitude for their presence and their contribution to public life, may I now invite Mr. Ravindra Singh, sir. Can I have you on stage, please? A huge round of applause for sir. Aradhna Johri, madam, can I have you on stage, please? Praful Patnaik, sir, can I have you on stage, please? Purushottam Agarwal, sir, can I request your presence on the stage? Thank you. We now invite our distinguished guests to share their reflections with us, particularly on the one virtue they believe future civil servants must carry forward. Can I have the honor and privilege to invite Mr. Ravindra Singh, sir, to address the gathering, please?
Good evening and namaskar to everybody. And the organizers have called this the threshold, and I think I'm looking back 1979, that means what, 21 and 24, 47 years almost, looking back, and it reminds me of the beginning lines of a poem, which is that bliss it was to be born that dawn, and to be young was very heaven. So you are, I think, at that stage of your life, and you're looking forward to careers. Congratulations to all those who got into one of the most difficult examinations in the world and very successfully are sitting here today. Also to the aspirants, who I'm sure will learn a lot from from those who, as it were, crossed one threshold and on the other side and can help you and pull you over. And I hope that we will see many of you also in the civil services in future. As regards what a career in government or the civil service is about, so I think most of you are aware of the contribution which government has made in India's development. I mean, when I joined service, my first posting was in a district called Banda in 1980. And it was considered the worst drought at that time which India had ever faced. And we were posted as what we were called Sukha magistrates. And, I saw the first, as it were, hand pump come up in the area. People couldn't believe that Mark II hand pumps would draw water from the ground. It was all stony. And if you saw the women, they just had one sari. People were malnutrited. And now the world you will be facing will be a very different world, a world driven by AI and communication. And so I think the challenges you faced or which you will face will be very different to what we faced. But at the end of the day, we are all, as it were, human beings. We will react as humans to whatever the challenge comes before us. And I think one virtue which stands everyone good all the time is hard work and be true to yourself. I think that is the most important thing, that you'll get a lot of pressures. Everyone faces pressures. There's no one who can tell you that I sort of walked only the straight and narrow path. That's not how it is. We work in a society. We have to work with others. We have to work with our colleagues, our subordinates, our peers, the public, civil society. There's media, and so on. So these are all challenges. Everyone, like we adjust in a family, we adjust in our careers, some more successfully, some less successfully. But the thing is that you have to be very sure that you're putting in your best. And second is that you will realize that if you follow your own path, you are still appreciated. Government and society are such vast organizations, there's a place for everybody. And whatever type you may be, everyone fits in. So I think these are the two lessons which I'd like to share with you, that you have to work very hard. It's not something that you got into the exam and therefore you will be successful in future. You have to continue your hard work. You have to be true to whatever you are as a personality, as a character. And the one other point I would like to make is that make time for yourself, make time for your hobbies. These are very important in your life in future. And for those who are aspirants, all I can say is best of luck, because you are really facing a challenging exam. But if you got this far, I'm sure that you will go much further also. And if you have coaching, if you have peers, you have people to help you out, then I'm sure your very hard work will pay. It's worth the journey. That's all I can say looking back. I mean, civil service helps you not only contribute to society, it contributes to you as a person. You get to do whatever you wanted to do, even when you finish one phase of your life, which is retirement. The jobs care, whatever you want to give back to society, whatever you want to do, that opportunity never stops. So I would just like to motivate you that those who are not yet in, please work very hard, because it is a very rewarding life. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Can I request Aradhana Johari madam to address the gathering?
So well, it's a great privilege to be here today with some of the brightest and the best in the country. I would like to congratulate the rank holders and future rank holders. I would also like to congratulate Civilsdaily. My association has been with many institutes that have been training all of you, and I do mocks in many places also. But I found a difference in civils. I find them invested in the candidates. I was surprised that the founders not only know the names, they know the strengths, they know the weaknesses, they know how to gear them up. So that is really something that I found very impressive. So to the rank holders who are successful in one of the most, I believe they're sitting here somewhere, huh? I have to stand on my toes to see them. So to the rank holders who are successful in one of the most difficult competitions, you're on the threshold of the most rewarding and meaningful phase of your life. But a word of caution. Every rose has a thorn. We were told when we joined service that the academy is the best part of the career, so enjoy it. Law, public administration, and all these things can come later, but you must enjoy. So my brother chose to get married 2 days before my foundation course exam. So perforce I had to enjoy. I came back the day before the exam and whatever I could study. So when the results were out, I remember that to get out, my counselor came to me with a very sympathetic look. He started circling me, how did you do your exam? And did you do well? I thought I failed. And I was surprised that I got the medal. So academy has to be taken in the proper spirit. So too, when we went to the state academy for our revenue law training in the state laws, similar thing, it was very bad form to be studying. It was good form to be soaking in. We went to Nainital, so soaking in Nainital. And so when we had a revenue law exam, everybody's copies looked exactly alike. So they decided to fail half of them and pass half of them. So I was some of the lucky people who passed, and the person I cheated from failed. So yes, this is what you will face in life also. And it reminds me of a joke of heaven and hell. When this man died, he was told, he was asked, where do you want to go, to hell or to heaven? He said, what is heaven? So he went there. There were people singing psalms, and they were, everything was peaceful and holy and all that. And then he went to hell. Everyone was having a great time, having all kinds of food and dancing and laughter and noise and everything. So he said, I'll go to hell. So when he went there, all hell's fires consumed him. So he said, Ye kya hua? You told me that it's like that. So he was told that was our PR department. So be prepared for that also. But jokes apart, those who are going to the academy will now enter a new phase of life. Stay true to your ideals. Think out of the box. Make mistakes. Einstein said, a person who never made a mistake never tried anything new. So you'll make mistakes, you'll learn, think out of the box, find solutions. Those who have not made it this year, but will make it in coming years, just keep giving it your best. Success consists of going from failure to failure without loss of enthusiasm. And personally, I have interviewed many of you, put you through the tough grilling because only then does the true metal shine. I have been impressed by your confidence, awareness, analytical minds, problem-solving approach. In fact, I wonder sometimes, I was just telling my colleagues there that if I had to write the exam again, I'm sure I'd never get through. It's so competitive now. As I often say, genius is 1% inspiration and 99% perspiration. I'll add now, it's also luck. So luck and genius is, and inspiration is not in your hands, but perspiration is. So please, keep working at it. I'll share a couple of 2-3 small experiences of mine, even at the risk of boring you all. My life, like everybody's, has also been full of challenges, small and great sometimes. So my father was also in the service. And as a small child, I had a bit of an unconventional upbringing. So he was posted in a district which was a forest district. And so 3 months in a year, he was in the jungles, and we'd stay in Swiss tents. And he had an elephant, so we would drive around in the forest and see tigers and bears and all that stuff. And people would come from far off villages, from deep in the forest, with their petitions. And he would solve their problems. So I said, as a small child, I was in class 1, that this is what I want to do, right since then. So I grew up, I did my BA. And the opposition came from my father. He said, not civil services, it's not a place for a girl. When my sister was already there. So what do? You write the bank exam. That's the best job for girls, 10 to 5. So dar ke mare, after my BA, I did it. I got through, unfortunately. So I said, look, I wrote the exam, now let me write the IAS when I'm of age. He said, nahi, itni achhi naukri kaun chhodta hai? Anyway, I became a banker, did my MA along with it. So now when I did my MA, I said, now let me write the exam. So we had a deal finally, a compromise, that you write it once. And if you get through, you get through. Otherwise, you remain a banker all your life. Horrible thought. Mercifully, I got through. And though we never got any leave, and I remember I had to get typhoid and relapse and everything 1 month, and that was it. But the problem didn't end. They started. The cadre. Well, I was lucky or unlucky to get the same cadre as my father, my home state. And now many of my bosses had worked with my father. So every time I got a new boss, I would ask my father, I hope you treated him well, because he's going to give it back to me otherwise. And one of them did. So anyways, next challenge, district posting. I mean, the DM ship is a bread and butter of every IS officer. If you don't become DM, what are you? So in UP, ladies never got districts, or they'd get after 10 years after their batch, and they would get one small district called Barabanki, which is a problem-free ladies district. So what do you do anyway? I had a big fight with the establishment. To cut a long story short, the batches after me, they went with the batch, the ladies, fortunately. So now I was landed up with a district, which was a huge district, 13 tehsils, poorest of the poor hill villages, richest of the rear tarai farmers. It was a terrorist-infested district. I had Z category security. It was a VIP district. The ex-chief minister, almost prime minister, and powerful minister, it was his home. It was a hill district, and I have mountain sickness. But worst of all, it was a district where my father had been DM 30 years before. So all the time the comparisons were there. I know history was made, a father and daughter in the same district as DMs, but that was to come later. I had to fit into my father's very large shoes, which was a nightmare all the time. Worst comes to worst, I didn't drink tea. I still don't drink tea. I drink milk. So the adage went around, ki dekhiye, सरकार की क्या जाती है, टेररिस्ट डिस्ट्रिक्ट में बच्ची भेजती, वो भी दूध पीती. So this is the kind of stuff one has to face. Anyway, district was done and dusted. Now came the next challenge. I was fortunate. I went to Harvard University for my master's, and I was very keen on the environment. Those days, environment was not very, hotshot, but it was something that was very close to my heart. And I studied economics just to do environmental economics because there was a professor who was really good at that. I came back and I got A's and rank and everything, and I came back and I told my government post in environment. So they said, no. We call, in UP, the department that posts officers is called appointments department. So we used to call it disappointment department because they never give you what you want. So they said, go to health. So fortunately, it began a lifelong love story with health. I did 18 years. I was lucky enough to helm the health program in my state and in Government of India. I headed the largest US government project globally, WHO, UNAIDS, we were chaired the board. So that was fortunate. But the struggle in my life, as will be in your life, whether you get through, you don't get through, will be constant. There will be all kinds of struggles. Those who have got through, first it is going to be getting into the service, which service you get, which cadre you get, what posting you get, challenges, political and otherwise, it's always there. But the purpose of my story is to tell you that there are ups and downs always. Take the ups with equanimity, take the downs with equal equanimity. But never give up. This morning, somebody, WhatsApped me. There was a post by a black Miss USA. And she said she was working as a salesperson in, I don't know which store, Target store. And somebody motivated her. She went. Once she failed, second she failed, third time, 5 times she failed the pageant, 6 times she became Miss USA. So I've seen candidates who come 1, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and then they get ranks. So never give up. The greatest glory in living lies not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. And ultimately, I would say, satisfaction, happiness, sense of achievement, sense of purpose, it comes not by what others think of you. It doesn't come by the value system that is set, ye achhi posting hai, important, powerful. It comes by the standard you have set for yourself. The joy of making a difference in the lives of people. So many candidates have asked me, somebody's got some service or somebody's very accomplished and they say, the board will ask us, why do you want to write the exam? And my answer is always, and really that is truly what I felt, it is the joy of making a difference in the lives of people around you. So that is the wish that I have for all of you, and I'm sure all of you will carry it forward. All the best.
Thank you, ma'am. Always a delight hearing you. Can I request Mr. Praful sir to address the gathering, please?
Hello, my young friends. First, I would like to congratulate all the successful candidates, including the rank holders. You may be aware that this time 5,76,793 candidates wrote the exams, the written exams. And the success was for 958. So that comes to 0.16%. I'm not trying to scare the aspirants, but that is the fact of life. So, dream is the first one. You have to dream first. You want to be an IAS officer or IPS officer or any other civil service officer. So you have to dream first because it starts with the dream. Then the preparation, of course, which is the most important part. And as my colleagues said, institutes like Civilsdaily play a very important role in your preparation. It's not the usual ones. They are only 10 years old, but look at the results, what they have achieved. And as the years go by, I don't know where they will reach. On the top, I'm sure. They do hand holding, they guide you at every stage and uh, take you forward and forward till your goal is achieved. As my colleagues said, the academy is the best part. After that, the grind starts. To tell you a story, first my IPS days. When I joined IPS, and my real first posting was in Wind, that was then famous for the dacoits. So I got a information that the gang is somewhere in the ravines. So I went with my constables and other officers. I came back after 3 days. And when I went to the toilet because the house was not ready, I was staying in the circuit house. So when I was about to sit on the pot, I found a cobra inside, in the pot. So that was my IPS beginning. And what was the IAS beginning? I was the first direct IAS SDO in a place called Gaya. In IPS, I was in Madhya Pradesh cadre. In IAS, I was in Bihar cadre. So I was SDM Gaya. The day I took charge, there was a CPI ML Rahi faction. So they took out a procession. So district magistrate also advised, I also advised, don't go, the area is not good and things like that. But they went, and in a remote village of Gurua, they were dragged, 6 of them, and they were beheaded. 6 of them in a field. So when we got the information, I took the city DSP along and went there. And again, I came back after 3 days. Those who बिहार में कहते हैं 6 इंच छोटा कर देना है, that means head is off, 6 इंच छोटा. So I came back after 3 days because the Panchnama and this thing took time, local investigations and things like that. Of course, the city DSP was with me. So life is going to be tough. I'm talking to the successful candidates, but it is very rewarding. When you see the changes you bring in the lives of the society, in the lives of the people, nothing is worth more than that. While I was waiting for the function, I went to the washroom. One gentleman, I don't know him, he just stopped me and asked, साहब यहाँ क्या हो रहा है? I said, ये सिविल सर्विसेज के जो सक्सेसफुल कैंडिडेट्स हैं उनको हम फेलिसिटेट कर रहे हैं. कहते अच्छा वो हो. मैंने कहा क्यों? कहते ठीक है लेकिन बाद में तो सब एक ही चीज करते हैं. मैंने कहा क्या? कहते हैं करप्शन. अभी इसी वॉशरूम में. So don't forget that everybody is against you. They think you are somebody super something and you are here to rule. So change that image. Make changes in their lives, improve their lives. And we have a number of examples where people have agitated on the transfer of a particular officer from a district or subdivision. They love him or her. So it is not that it is everybody's opinion. Now there is a fashion for 2 things. One is civil services basic, especially IAS, bashing. They are bad, they are this, they are that, they have ruined the country, they have collaborated with the politicians and blah, blah, blah. Ignore all that. Do your work and make the changes in the life of people and the society. The one recent discussion that is coming up is the cost of civil services. Boys and girls, they're wasting 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, 8 years. So what is the cost? What is the benefit? But thing is that you are chasing a dream. If your dream is real, is strong, then you chase. You fix the limit where you want to stop. You can have a plan B, of course, but you can set your own limits, how many chances you will take. But this talk of cost of civil services, somehow I don't agree. If you want it, then you go for it. This is for the aspirants. And I'm sure they will be guided well and they will be handheld by Civil Services Delhi. They are only 10 years. Let them get into their teens. Let them become the adults. See what miracle they work for. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Patnaik sir. I don't know how many of you know Mr. Purushottam Agarwal sir, but when we were preparing for UPSC, we used to line up to hear him in our colleges. He's former member UPSC. Can I have Purushottam sir on the stage to address the gathering?
Thank you very much. Congratulations to all those who have succeeded in admittedly the toughest competitive examination in the world. But those who have unfortunately not succeeded, let me tell you one thing. IAS, IPS, or any glamorous job is not the end of life. You do not become IAS, it does not mean that you lose or your life loses the meaning in it. Never think like that. So prepare for it. It's your interest, you want to do something. Though I do not really believe in the fiction that only the civil service can serve the society. A doctor also serves the society. An engineer also serves the society. In fact, a peon also serves the society. So let us be very clear about it, that there is various levels of serving the society that all segments in the society do. Secondly, we hear a lot about IAS, politician nexus, about corruption, not only amongst civil servants, but in the entire society. And in 2012, which was my almost last year of serving as a member of UPSC, the paper of ethics was introduced with the hope that the future civil servants will have some sense, will face the problems in the light of theoretical knowledge which is given for preparing that paper. And as it happens, I do not know for sure, but I was told and I read some news that one officer, young officer, who actually wrote a book for ethics paper, was caught with the income, disproportionate income of 2 crores. And he wrote a book for ethics paper. So writing a book, talking about something, and living it out is quite different. In a structure like India, civil service is very important, and there are 2 reasons for it. One, in a society full of diversity and with a peculiar historical fact of unity in diversity, there are tendencies which refuse to go by centralizing forces. There are tendencies which insist on making everything part of the one large whole. Both these tendencies are not good for India's culture, tradition, and society. And therefore, a service which is all India in nature and yet which is expected to serve in any or every part of the country was imagined and has been functioning on the whole quite well before independence and as well as after independence. Incidentally, the first society to think of a merit-based competitive civil service was not an European society. It was China which first thought of such a civil service and implemented it 2000 years ago. So, the idea basically again in China also was to serve a huge country and a very complex state with certain integrity and dedication. That is exactly what is expected of services like IAS and IPS. You are supposed to be loyal to the Constitution, and therefore you are provided certain inherent protections. It's not easy for a politician, even for the chief minister of a state, to take action against an IAS or IPS officer, to take arbitrary action. It's not possible for him. He can transfer you, of course, he can do something else, but it's not easy for him to dismiss you straight away. There are certain protections provided. But at the same time, there are expectations. And one thing which, I personally believe in it, I do not know about young people, but I think one thing which the system expects in exchange of protection is anonymity and low profile. I personally do not like IAS officers making reels and claiming that they have done this, they have done that. In a system, in a properly functioning system, no individual does anything. He only takes an initiative. He only starts something. It is the whole system which does, if at all, something is done. When you become too self-obsessed, when you start producing reels by the day, showing के कलेक्टर साहब फलाने दौरे पर, कलेक्टर साहिबा फलाने दौरे पर अपनी देखरेख में अनधिकृत निर्माण तोड़वा रही हैं. I do not know. I can only request you not to do that because that goes against the very spirit of the services. It is for the politicians to take the credit. Your job is not to take the unnecessary credits. Your job is to do the work. And when you do work, why after all people from medical background, from engineering background, from information technology, everybody is flocking towards IAS, IPS. Why? Frankly speaking, it reflects the asymmetry of power structure of our society. Too much power is concentrated in a certain segment. But that is besides the point at the moment. You can't help it, I can't help it. But the reason is very simple. You get a lot of power, you get a lot of initiative. At very young age, you are in a position to take decisions. And your decisions are going to be implemented with the force of a state. As my esteemed colleague Sri Bhurelal ji used to say, he was a member of UPSC when I was there. He used to say that Thanedar is president of India in action. Before a Thanedar, behind a Thanedar, or even behind a constable, there is the might of Indian state. इसीलिए वो जो साधारणतः ट्रैफिक हवलदार खड़ा रहता है उसका हाथ देख के आप रुक जाते हैं क्योंकि उसके पीछे माइट ऑफ इंडियन स्टेट है. So you are an important figure in that structure of might of Indian state. You are given power, you are given the capacity to initiate things. And therefore it is important, my dear young friends, to remember one thing. I just want to tell you one thing. I just want to remind you of Gandhiji's tabeez or talisman. Whenever you take a decision, whenever you do something, in your capacity as district magistrate or secretary or whatever, as Gandhiji said, remember the face of the weakest, the poorest man you have ever seen. And try to think that this act which you are going to do is going to help him or is going to harm him. That will take care of all your moral dilemmas. It will give you immense strength to act, even if there are adversities, there are problems, but you have this moral gut intact, that you are given power, you are given initiative, not to satisfy your ego, but to serve the people of this country. And therefore, whatever you do, and this is in fact applicable to every one of us, not only to officers, but to professors, to politicians, to whosoever, but particularly to officers, because they have a crucial position of initiative. So whenever you do something, all those who have been selected or all those who aspire to be selected as IAS, IPS and other officers, please remember, before you do anything, think about the poorest, the weakest, the humblest man or woman, and think about him or her, that how your act, this individual act, is going to affect his life or her life. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Now comes the most special part of the evening that you are waiting for. Today, we celebrate individuals who have crossed one of the most demanding thresholds in the country, the civil service examination. Each of them represents a year of perseverance, discipline, and a belief. So, can I ask my guest of honors to come on stage and felicitate these rankers? Ravindra Singh sir, Aradhana madam, Patnaik sir, Rohit sir, Shikhar sir. Can I have you all on stage, please? Can I first call Mr. Raghav Zunjunwala, All India Rank 4. He was a part of our essay, ethics and interview mentorship, mentored by Rohit sir, Shikhar sir and myself. Can I have you, Raghav, on stage, please? Do we have Rohin Kumar in the house? Can I next have Shubhankar Dhruv, All India Rank 52, part of the Smash Means program mentored by Swatantra sir and myself. Shubhankar. Can I next have Mr. Rahul Shekhar, All India Rank 75, part of our Smash Means program, mentored by Arvind sir and myself. Dhwanish, All India Rank 108. Lakshya Agarwal, All India rank 164, part of the Smash Means program, mentored by Shubham sir and myself. Then I have Komal Mavi next. All India rank 314, part of the interview guidance program mentored by me. Then I have Divya Srivastav next, All India rank 418, part of the interview guidance program mentored by me. Do we have Akash Kumar by any chance? Or previous rankers Rohin Kumar and Niket Ranjan by any chance? Rohit Prajapati, do we have Rohit Prajapati in the house? All India rank 607, part of the Smash Means program mentored by Arvind sir and myself. Oh, we have Kumar Aniket in the house. All India rank 417, Kumar Aniket, part of the ultimate assessment program mentored by Diksha madam and myself. Rameshwar Shinde, All India rank 705, mentored by Shubham sir in Smash Means. Pritam Bhale, All India rank 742, mentored by Shubham sir in the Smash Means. Atul Rajurkar, All India rank 863. Gargi Meena, All India rank 933, part of the Smash Means program mentored by Arvind sir and myself. By any chance, do I have Akash Kumar, Sukant, Rohin, Tanmay, Sanidhya by any chance in the house? Have I missed any ranker by any chance? Could you show your hands? Right. Rohin Kumar, All India rank 39, Aniket Ranjan, All India rank 48, Jayant Garg, All India rank 64, Yashvi Jan 97, Aditya Mathur 98, Madhavendra Pratap Singh, do we have in the? They're on their way, right? Correct. So a lot of rankers are in the parliament attachment and they're on the way. So we'll meet them after the first half gets over. So all of them who have gotten the Patachitra awards, if you can come on the stage for a group photo quickly. A huge round of applause for everybody, please. This is exactly the threshold we are talking about. Next year, a lot of you might be here.